Hello and welcome to the Madness Combat Story So Far Explained video. This video will be describing the canon story of Madness Combat, and we will explain the .5 episodes and Deadmos' adventure as well. I will not count anything like the incident videos as they are not canon to the main story. Also keep in mind that this video is not going to be in the super serious tone I did for the Ava Explained video, and instead will be a bit more silly as the Madness Combat series doesn't really take itself seriously. So without further ado, let's get started with the first 4 episodes of the series, or as I like to call them, the Sheriff Saga. The series begins with our protagonist, Hank J. Wimbledon, at a park while one guy is playing his boombox loudly and another guy is just dancing in the background. Hank is getting annoyed by the song and walks up to the guy to ask him to stop, but the guy shoves him instead. Hank, in retaliation, attacks him and knocks him out. Suddenly, some other people appear and try to attack Hank, but Hank proves to be too much for the goons and kills all of them. Suddenly, Jesus, or Jeebus, however you want to say it, I'm actually just going to call him Jeebus. Jeebus attacks Hank and revives some of the goons as zombies to attack him, but Hank manages to kill Jeebus. More people show up, but Hank kills them all. He then kills the guy dancing in the background and then dances to the song. I don't blame him, it's a good version of the chicken dance, the only good version of that. Next episode, Hank is going after the sheriff of Nevada for some reason. He kills the sheriff's guards and encounters Tricky the Clown, a major antagonist later on, but here he's pretty much useless and dies. Poor him. Hank finally reaches the sheriff, but Jeebus kills Hank with a gunshot to his head. Hank somehow survives the gunshot wound and continues going after the sheriff. The sheriff then activates the improbability drive. If you don't know what that means, it's basically this.
Oh shit. There goes the
Nevada.
Hank fights through more goons, even a zombified Tricky, but he finally reaches the sheriff and kills him for good. In episode 4, Hank is now going after Tricky, who is now the DJ for a club for some reason. Hank kills various goons but doesn't kill Tricky because Jeebus appears and attacks Hank. Hank then blows himself up with Jeebus and Tricky just jams out to the chicken dance. Hank is somehow still alive and has gotten himself some new clothes. Hank and Jeebus are still fighting and they eventually start fighting Tricky. Tricky violently murders the both of them and proclaims that,
You do not kill Clown, Clown kills you!
Tricky fights Hank some more on a train and eventually it looks like Hank may have actually killed him. But no, Tricky then beats up Hank in a new demonic form and revives him in a new cooler suit. Hank runs from the giant Tricky monster, but then suddenly Jeebus appears and kills the both of them. Meanwhile, Sanford and Deimos are fighting the AAHW, Agency Against Hank Wimbledon. No, I am not kidding. Who are Sanford and Deimos, you may ask? Apparently they are allies of Hank. Back to the main plot, Jeebus begins fighting more goons and then encounters the true villain of the series, the Auditor. The Auditor was the one pulling the strings the whole time, and then he actually kills Jeebus. Sanford and Deimos manage to retrieve Hank's body and get into the AHW building. They fight through more goons, and Deimos begins reviving Hank, and begins to magnify him as well. Magnification is basically making something bigger and stronger. Fortunately, it works. Unfortunately, Deimos is dead. Sanford and the magnified Hank begin fighting their way through more Chaos Agents as they're called, and they begin fighting the Auditor. Meanwhile, Deimos becomes Deadmos and begins going through what is basically hell. The Auditor begins absorbing more bodies to become more powerful, but unfortunately for him, Tricky gets absorbed and takes control of the Auditor. Tricky, in another new form, takes Hank and Sanford to another place which is basically hell. Sanford and Hank manage to kill the demonic clown, but the Auditor is still alive and takes the halo which powered Tricky up in the underworld, and he simply proclaims, "Finally." Also, Deadmos escapes but causes more of the demonic underworld things to break out. Damn it, Deimos. And that's the Madness Combat story so far. I hope this was informative enough, and I hope you had a great time watching this video. If a finale does come out and I am popular enough, I'll make an updated video, but no promises for now. Hope you all have a good day or night, and take care.